Okay. I'll call the meeting to order. All three commissioners are present. The notice of the meeting was properly posted on April 12th. And District 1 has someone for a prayer and pledge.
Yes, good morning. I invited Rabbi Abby Jacobson. She unfortunately was not able to come, so she will be at one of our July meetings. So I'm going to ask our emergency management director, Mr. David Barnes, to come up and lead our opening prayer. While you're walking up, I do want to recognize that Wednesday is the anniversary of the Oklahoma City bomb. Outdoor ceremony Wednesday morning. I believe it's open to the public. I assume it starts a little before 9. So I just wanted to recognize that Wednesday is the anniversary. I believe 26 years. I think last year was a big one, maybe 25.
I believe that's correct.
So it's hard to believe it's been 26 years.
Strength and guidance in those situations, Lord, we will grow and be better able, Father, to help those who are in need and to do the county's business. I pray for the commissioners and their staffs and the other elected officials and all of our county family today, Lord, that you would just guide us and help us to have diligence and attention to detail. And Lord, as Commissioner Bloom reminded us, we think back to a terrible day in Oklahoma City, but Lord, we know that many good things have also come from that, as is typical. Lord, when you're in control, we just thank you and praise you for that. We lift up the families of those who, Lord, lost family members and friends. We give them, Father, our prayers, and we just ask that you give them a special measure of grace and mercy this coming day. We ask for continued protection, Lord, for those families and for the first responders and for all those who, Lord, had a role in that situation. And we lift up our military, both abroad and here, and public safety folks. Father, we thank you for the provision of those folks and pray that you be with them and their families and give them strength and, Lord, just your insight. We love you, praise you. Thank you for this day and for the beautiful weather you've given us. And we ask all this in the precious name of Jesus. Amen.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Mr. Barnes.
Okay, is there a motion to approve the minutes of April 3rd and 10th?
I'll move approval.
Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Is there a motion to approve the claims?
I'll move our claims.
Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Is there anything to the purchase, the P card, just routine? Okay.
Move approval.
Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Is there a motion to approve the blanket if there's no changes? No changes.
Move approval.
Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any individual consideration on the consent docket?
I'll move approval.
Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Is Mr. White here? How long do you think yours will take? Okay, you want to come forward?
Good morning. I'm William White, White & Associates, your owner's rep for the ARPA projects, and we appreciate that opportunity. Currently, we've done our initial investigation over the last 4 weeks, and for the 14 projects, we find the design, contract, construction, and schedule to be within the performance requirements, except we do have one concern on the behavioral health service facility. We feel like that could extend past the performance period. I think there's some opportunities. Our initial investigation shows there may be some opportunities to expedite the project. And so with staff, we would recommend, as obviously, as soon as you can get the site, that would be helpful, but to accelerate architectural services and also the contracting method. Our recommendation would be for CM at risk to allow for a guaranteed maximum price, and also the implementation of early packages, construction packages. And are you familiar with that?
Mhm.
So I think that would be our best opportunity to mitigate risk for performance. And really, that's where we're at on the projects as a whole.
Questions for Mr. White?
Stacy was mentioning to me last week that there's potential to apply for a 1-year extension past the 2026 deadline. Is that correct?
Well, the Department of Treasury, DOT, has defined projects as capital expenditures. Under the FARs, Federal Acquisition Regulations, those are performance periods can vary. The DOT, under the main section that we're working on, CFR 200, has excluded or eliminated the performance extension. So we are done our initial investigation in trying to find out if that's going to be amended or if there's an opportunity through different regulations to extend it. But our first goal is to mitigate risk for performance with other avenues.
Right.
And work both paths forward parallel and see if we can help on either end.
Okay.
Question? All right, is there a motion to receive his report?
I'll move to receive.
Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Thank you, Mr.
Thank
White, for your
you.
time. Next, it's my privilege to honor former Cleveland County Commissioner Jan Collins, and she's been a longtime friend and a mentor, for the occasion of her upcoming 80th birthday, where she's recently had friends gathered to celebrate, and it was a blowout. She had Elvis and everybody else showed up. It was incredible. But for the historic significance of what all she's accomplished in her public career, I wanted to pay homage here officially on behalf of Oklahoma County. If I might, I'll read the resolution. It says, whereas Jan Collins was born in San Angelo, Texas in 1943, she was born into a military family living in 9 different states and attending 12 different schools during her father's service in the United States Air Force. Jan moved to Oklahoma with her parents and sister in 1962, just after her father retired from the Air Force. And whereas Jan married her husband Gary in 1968 and had 2 children, Debbie and Danny, and 1 grandchild, Erica. She remained married to Gary for 52 years until he passed away in 2021. Their son Danny sadly passed away in 2006. Her daughter Debbie, who's with her today, and granddaughter Erica live with her in their home in South Oklahoma City. Whereas carrying on her family's legacy in public service by first volunteering for the Oklahoma City Public Schools and serving on the Parent-Teacher Association when her children were in school, Jan's PTA service led to active involvement in local politics and grassroots organizations. And whereas in 1984, Jan Collins and Helen Cole became the first Republican women elected to South Oklahoma City proper, Jan being elected to House District 93 and Helen being elected to Senate District 45. They joined Rebecca Hamilton, the state representative who represented a split district between South and North Oklahoma City. A Republican, Jan was elected in a seat in a district which consisted of 76% Democrats, 21% registered Republicans, and 4% registered independent. At a time, Jan was one of 10 women serving in the House out of 101 legislators. And whereas, having moved further south in Oklahoma City, Jan now lives in Cleveland County. In 1990, having heard from 20 female employees about the sexual harassment issues among the offices in the courthouse, Jan decided to run for county commissioner to put an end to that behavior women had been subjected to while on the job. Jan was elected Cleveland County Commissioner, making her the 3rd woman in state history to win election to that office. pretty remarkable. I should also, you can only get so much in a resolution, but I should also point out that Senator Cole was elected simultaneously to mayor of Moore. And so the two ladies joined and continued their partnership and a large dominant role in Cleveland County. Whereas choosing not to seek a second term as commissioner, wise beyond your years right there. Jan instead accepted an appointment from Governor Frank Keating as Director Trustee for the Oklahoma Housing Finance Agency. It would be here that she would serve her longest stint in a public position, completing 7 years at the end of her tenure on the commission. And now, therefore, be it resolved that the Board of County Commissioners of Oklahoma County hereby proclaim Monday, April 17th, 2023, as Jan Collins Day in Oklahoma County in honor of Commissioner Collins' upcoming 80th birthday and in salute to her pioneering public service. Feel free to pull the mic down.
I cannot tell you how much love you have given me. I cannot tell you how appreciative I am, and I cannot tell you how grateful I am to you for being honorable people. And I'm sorry, but um, I'm crazy. uh, I'm taking this award for everything you have done for us. And I hope you will continue to serve your people. And I want to tell you, Brian has an insatiable nerve to spread love throughout the world, and that's a hazard. Yes, no, it's not. It's such a gift. I thank you so much, and I want you to know that I think the award really should go to the great parents in this world. It really is the parents that do it. It is. They gave him a great gift. And I would like to thank everybody for giving back. I would like to thank all of you. I want you to, this award goes to you. This award is an award for you because you have been such great parents, such great people. Thank you. Sorry, Sam Bossy. I have to tell you, Brian has an insatiable need to give love to the world. I want you to give him that. All I ever did was recognize that. That is one of my greatest things.
Would you like to take a picture? Let's take a picture.
He's gonna hold it, Miles. Thank you. 1, 2, 3.
Just Jan, I'll just share one quick story real quick before you leave. I know your Charles is getting ready to escort you there, and thanks to Tina and the Dakes for coming. Her daughter is no stranger to this building, attorney Debbie Self, and she's former president of Women of the South and did a ton for getting scholarships to students. So thank you for your service too. But Jan, in her modesty, while I was trying to gather the information for this, said, "Well, I think I'm not the third. I think I was the fourth. There was a widow that was selected to a seat in place of her husband at some point, she believes." And so she's tried to downplay her role. In no way ever has she tooted her horn about the service and the pioneering way that she reared back and kicked in the door with her high heels. And I appreciate her humble servant attitude. And in fact is that at her birthday party, I was sharing some of the stuff because OSU has done a oral history project where they gathered so many of the early women legislators and stuff. And so I really gleaned most of this information from their project that was done several years ago. And so I shared some of it with friends of hers at her birthday party, and including, I think, a couple of family members, and they said they had no idea. She really has never boasted about her in doing that. But when I very, very first ran and didn't win for my very first election, and the Dakes helped me and others that are here, having Jan on board was a big deal. And I told her about my experience coming as a commissioner was much easier because of everything she had told me to expect. So I didn't come in as blindfolded as maybe others because she really she taught me a lot about what to do, how to conduct, and she, of course, as I referenced to the sexual harassment stuff, she put an end to that at the Cleveland County Courthouse. She really sought out to do things, and she said I didn't need to run for a second term because I accomplished what I set out to do in my first term. So she got her done, and I appreciate all that you've ever done for the community, probably so much of which we won't even ever know because you did it in such a humble spirit. So you've been doing it for many years, and Oklahoma is definitely grateful and indebted to your service. Thank you for being here.
I
move
will
it.
move approval.
Okay. You second. I moved it.
Second. Okay, either way.
Somebody. All right. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Enjoy your Jan Collins Day, Jan. Okay, District 3.
This is item 24 is an application that Nikki Morton has helped us with. This is actually going to create a partnership between Oklahoma County Department of Corrections and team. We're going to start transitioning these individuals into jobs and reducing our recidivism rates and doing skill-based training and employment. But this is for a $4 million grant to Oklahoma County. So, Nikki, is there more to it?
No, I think you explained it pretty well. I think that this is a pretty novel partnership. I don't think that it's ever been done, and I think it really helped a lot of people.
It's amazing what you can learn when you just read a little bit. I happened to when I was in Washington D.C. Meeting with some of the NICO people and some of the DOJ, we actually discussed these exact Department of Labor grants that are for reducing recidivism and training these individuals. So I will move approval for application.
I have a quick question. It says that Department of Labor has announced $48 million in grant funds. Do you know if we're awarded this, how much we could receive?
$4 million.
$4 million.
Up
Okay,
to, yeah.
nice. I'll second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
Thank you, Nikki.
Discussion and possible action to approve the recommendation of the committee to use a CM at risk, as was mentioned by Mr. White.
And this is for, I just want to clarify, this is for the construction of the new jail campus, and Mr. White clarified CM at risk for, was he speaking just to the behavioral health unit that we've set aside funds for?
Yes, basically, because that is part of ARTMA, but they're going to be on the same campus. Or
Right.
possibly on the same campus.
Okay.
Okay. Is there a motion?
I'll move approval.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye. I do want to add, just for the record, that I know a lot of different methods of constructing the jail were discussed among the commissioners and among the Citizen Bond Oversight Committee. And this, after much discussion, this was deemed to be the most appropriate and best way to move forward. I've gotten a lot of questions from folks about asking how we're going to do this and what the model is going to be. And I think CM at risk kept coming up as the most efficient way for Oklahoma County to do this.
That's correct.
Yeah.
Madam Clerk, do you want to speak to your items, or are they just routine in nature? Okay. Abstractors bond. Is there a motion for actually 26 and 27 both?
I'll move approval of items 26 and 27.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
And then 28 is to name Carrie Hudson as an alternate to the retirement board as representative of the clerk.
Move approval.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Engineering.
Okay, this is one of 4 easements that we're going to need for our bridge project on 178th. This one's $15,000. We have 3 more coming. One's already in condemnation. We really need, that condemnation is the key to securing $500,000 in federal money. We're going to need a court date in the next month or so. Hopefully we can get that. I don't know.
Okay.
Motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Are our employees of the month here? And
Maybe not.
okay. Move to strike then.
Okay. Yeah, I'll move to strike.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
And this is the contract. Hannah, do you want to speak to this?
Good morning. I'd actually request that you strike this. We had some updates to the dates, so we're gonna have a revised one at your next meeting.
Very good.
Move to strike.
Thank you.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Eric?
This is just a contract between District 2 and ACOG for a REAP project in Valley Brook. It's to clean out a drainage structure on the southwest corner of the intersection of Southeast 59th and Eastern. So it's just to sign that contract, and then once they sign it, they'll send us a notice to proceed, and then we can move forward with the project from there.
I'll move approval.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Commissioner comments, District 1?
No, I think I already said my comments during the prayer.
3?
No, thank you.
Any new business? If not, is there a motion to recess into executive session?
I'll move we recess.
Second.
All in favor, say, oh, wait a minute. Do we have citizens that are here to speak
For the county commissioner meeting?
for county commissioner meeting? Okay, I just didn't want you to have to wait through executive session. All right, all in favor of going into recess, say aye.
Aye.
All right, we will have a motion to return to regular session.
I'll move we return.
Second, sorry.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay, item 35.
Item 35, I move we proceed as discussed.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye. And item 36, I move we disclaim subject to any unpaid property taxes.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Now, any other citizens to speak? Okay, seeing none, is there a motion to adjourn?
I'll move we adjourn.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Now, let's see if I can navigate this.
No. I mean, it wasn't consulted of current clients either.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. No.
Okay, are we all in? I'll call the PBA to order. All three trustees are present. It was properly posted on April 12th. Is there a motion to approve the minutes of April 3rd?
Move approval.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Is there a motion to approve the claims?
I'll move our claims.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion to approve the PBA report of fees.
Move approval.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
And the report of fees for the Metro.
Move to approve.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Or maybe move to receive.
Approve.
Or receive, either way.
Okay.
Mr. Monroe.
Periodically, we'll true up the accounts, the carryover sums. Item 5 is a carryover to PBA Lincoln in the amount of $949.37.
Move approval.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
A like item for Metro Parking in the amount of $3,020.
Move approval.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Another item for the Investors Capital Building in the amount of $9,481.54.
Move approval.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Also for the Kraus Building in the amount of $3,968.23.
Move approval.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
I really can't speak to item number 9. This is something that trues up, I believe, the ARPA fund. Micah perhaps could speak to that.
Carrie just took off running to get Micah.
Okay, well, in the meantime,
Chantel's got a very concerned look on her face.
This is just the additional funds that the PBA approved for the owner's rep contract, and this is just to put it in the right spot so we can get the amendment to the contract.
Thank you.
Okay. I'll move approval.
Second.
all in favor, say aye.
Aye. Thank you, Chantel.
Item 10 is to appropriate from our cash fund appropriations in the amount of $100,000 to replace portions of the parking lot at the election board. I
That's
have
good news.
Yes.
I'm sorry?
Good news.
Yes, good news. That's the Grand Canyon out.
Yes. And
Um,
I think all three of us have probably gotten complaints from folks about fixing this.
Yes, I talked with Brian Jasper, and he has given me a written estimate here, which I can give to you. Says the time is right to do this, and he can get started on this in short order.
So what will it entail? Will it be an entire redo of the south part of it?
Exactly.
Just the south part, right?
Just the south part, just south of the building, inside, and a small portion outside the security fence. So it would be, as I understand it, a complete removal, an improvement of the base, and then an overlay of a asphalt product. I'm not certain how thick.
Will it cover, I think there's 2 or 3, maybe 2 lanes of parking right outside the main entrance to the
Yes.
election board? It'll cover that.
Yes.
But it will not go into the ACOG side.
No.
Okay.
And we'll still have to mow out towards Lincoln.
Yes.
Okay.
I'll move approval.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Micah, we found out what we needed. Thank you for coming. All right. 11.
Item 11 is to appropriate into PBA reserve the amount of $196,322.88.
Move to approve.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Item 12 is a change order to the contract with Midwest Wrecking to include demolition of the bathrooms on the 5th floor and 2 offices located in the southeast corner of the building that were determined that they needed to be demolished, so the entire floor.
Okay. Will the bathrooms remain in that location? They'll just be
Yes.
redone with the remodel? Okay. Move approval.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Item 13 is a discussion possible action regarding renewal of lease agreements for tenants located on the 1st floor of the Investors Capitol building. And I'm certain there are people here to speak to this.
Nina, are you coming to speak? No?
And Mr. Monroe, am I correct that PBA advisory discussed this once, if not more than once? And what is their recommendation to the commissioners?
It's my recollection that their opinion was not to renew.
On the 1st floor?
Yes.
And can you specify, if we were not to renew, what would we then do with their 1st floor? And we may not have decided yet what that is.
No. Currently, we're looking for temporary space to use in that building. We have the 4th floor, which is unoccupied, the 5th floor, which is being demolished now, and it was there was some idea as to how the 1st floor could be used for other government purposes, other government departments to conduct their business when and if they're displaced from any other floors here in the annex building. Certainly there are other options for everybody who would want to occupy that space. Downtown Oklahoma City is not full. I sent out a range of options and associated prices, ranging anywhere from $16 to $25 a square foot. I think the issue for everyone is accessibility to the courthouse complex, the exposure that anyone doing business on the 1st floor of the ICB would have. Historically, there have been customers that come to that building and know the businesses that exist there. So.
Well, I know Charles from my office has worked with you extensively to see if there were alternate plans. There really wasn't anything that the two of you could think of. My concern has been not only do they accumulate about $50,000 worth of annual lease revenue for us in the PBA that we would then start charging the county entities that go in there the same rate. And so we'll have to come up with $50,000 to the budget. So it's a net of $100,000 impact to us. In addition to the fact I'm sympathetic about dislocating people with their business and who've been there for many, many years. However, there was a ripple effect this last week in the fourth floor construction stuff, and I have to be careful because the agenda item probably doesn't give a lot of latitude here, but it may complicate that. And the court clerk and I spent hours together last week trying to explore options, and I believe he's wanting to schedule meetings with the other two districts. So I'm not sure we can, if all of this is going to be necessary, if things don't fall in a certain order. They may still, but we don't know. Is that fair to say, Mr. Warren? Yeah. So I personally think we should wait a little bit on this, although I'd want the tenants to know it still remains a possibility, so I don't want you to feel like the rug was jerked out from under you by the shorter notice, but I am trying, by buying the time, I'm trying to see if there's an option. Is that, you understand where I'm going with that? I may not be able to change the outcome, but I'm trying to see if there's another option, although it's not looking promising if the remodel goes forward, but we just don't know if that's going to happen.
And honestly, it's going to be a burden and an aggravation for everybody. If we use the space in the Investors Capital building for temporary locations for government services and offices, the security is an issue, the accessibility is an issue, the proximity to the
Getting
courthouse.
back to this building is an issue.
There's really no good outcome for everybody here. That's been the difficulty.
Yeah.
Right. Okay, well, any comments from either of you?
Mr. Warren, I am anxious to meet with you and kind of talk through some of the stuff you probably talked through with Commissioner Mon. I think I'm comfortable maybe deferring this or waiting until the next meeting because there is quite a bit up in the air with what's happening with Mr. Warren's office, what's happening potentially with the third floor, and then what's happening in ICB. So I'm comfortable kind of figuring a little bit more out before we officially do this.
But we can strike this item, and then when it appears clear and we have some sense of direction, it can be brought back.
Okay. And to our tenants that are here, there's a lot of moving parts and we're all trying to figure this out. And I don't want you all to think, kind of like what Commissioner Mon said, that we're just putting you off, and then we're going to pull the rug out from under you. I think renovating the fourth floor and all these moves is something we haven't done before. And so we're trying to figure it out. So hopefully we can have a little bit more concrete answers in the next couple weeks.
Anything else? Okay, is there a motion to strike?
I'll move to strike.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Item 14 are parking contracts for Metro Park.
Move approval.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Citizens wish to be heard? Okay, Ms. Mayor.
If we delay it, I think the tenants, and I can speak on behalf of all of them, would just appreciate notice, proper notice, and not like a week or something,
Right.
correct? So that's all we want to make sure, that we would have appropriate or proper notice so that we can make arrangements to move, and relocate and have all of our documents printed correctly, and so we're in compliance with the law.
What does that process take?
Well, we have to change all of our bonds and receipt books. We have to change, by law, we have to change everything. The state has to be notified within 5 days. There's
Just the turnaround. How long does that take for you to get new stuff?
about, I'd say, 2 to 3 weeks.
Okay.
So,
All right.
yep. And then we'd have to get a new location and a lease, and you already know. So it's quite a process. But if we can put it off. If there's a chance that we might be able to stay, I can speak on behalf of everyone. We definitely would love to stay if that's something that we're able to do. So we would just like to have proper notice is all we're asking. So,
Okay. Thank you.
thank you.
Any other citizens to speak? Board comments? Any new business? Is there a motion to adjourn?
I'll move we adjourn.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.